Well, I think everybody's getting a choice. With 4 candidates, you clearly are going to get a choice. So I think that speaks well to the pent-up demand for the position with passing of longtime legislator Bill Grant. My name is Matt Watkins. I'm from Pasco, Washington, and I am also running for the 16th District Legislature. A little background about me. I grew up on a farm north of Pasco. Parents do asparagus, hay, irrigated farm stock. And like a lot of parents, divorced when I was really young, so I got to move to town with my mother, who was a port manager for 21 years at the Port of Kennewick. Went on later to become a port commissioner. So to me, growing up, port commissioners were sort of the equivalent of uncles with pools. And so I've always had a real soft spot for ports, and so to come out to the airport, so like a little bit of a coming home for me. Grew up in the Tri-Cities with both parents involved in the community. Also, stepmother runs a visitor convention bureau. Understood the concept of community service at an early age, and have been very involved in the Tri-City experience. Was Water Follies president in 2000. I also ran for city council. I'm in my 5th year, mayor pro tem for 3 years now, working on my 2nd term. I'm single, not married. Gives me a little extra time to do that community service, which is very important. By day, I'm a software engineer for Lockheed Martin. I work at the Hanford site. Essentially, that means if anybody ever had Adobe Acrobat, I'm the one who updates that software, but do it for 8,000 computers out of the Hanford site. So I get to do my day job, which is really technical, organizing things, and then the night gig is that council thing, which fortunately my mayor said you could come down to Walla Walla this evening and talk to the all fine folks. And then this 3rd job, obviously, running for the state legislature. What I see in this district is critically important this year. It has been a Democrat who has had the position for 20 years, and what we are having now is a chance to turn that into a Republican seat. With any one of us 4 candidates, we're going to make that happen. That is critically important this year. And I think you'll find through this campaign, I know that I've talked with Greg and Terry, we're going to talk about our values and our qualifications, but when somebody gets chosen out of the primary, assuming it's a D and an R, but who knows, maybe we get lucky and we have 2 Republicans and through the primary, because we're a top 2 state, I think you're going to get some wonderful choices for candidates. What I see as issues, the top 3 are economy, economy, economy. We're talking about a $9 billion budget shortfall. And we all know that the state budget does not run a deficit, so it will be balanced. And the question is going to come about is, what are we going to have to cut in this session and the next year to balance that budget? And I think you're going to see, you've already seen some things where some things are going to be cut because we can't afford the rate in which state government has grown. But the question I think is going to come down really close to the end of the session is which things are going to get cut that's going to be publicly popular. We got to be very careful to make sure and not cut some of the critical services. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of fat cutting, but the question is, will some of those things be cut that is then a red herring to say, well, we now want to do an income tax, and will there be a Democrat that falls on their sword and puts it on the ballot for the Democrats? I don't know how that's going to exactly work, but I think that that's our most critical thing to look at. Besides that, we have water issues. It's very important. We all know the water is very important in our region. Transportation, finishing that highway is critically important. And we also have an incredible recreation around here. And I grew up snowmobiling in the blues, and I'm going to be able to maintain that as well. So anyway, Matt Watkins, and I'll love to take some questions. And thanks again for also the Republican Day dinner. That was a big treat, very different than the one we had in the Tri-Cities.